everybody. My name is Mars. You can call me MG if you'd like, and today we are going to talk about all of the series that I have on my physical TBR. There are a lot of them, 18 to be specific. Technically 19, but I am not counting The Sapling Cage because even though it is marketed as the first book in a trilogy, there has been absolutely no word about a sequel, no cover reveal, potential release date, title, any of that. So for these purposes, I'm just going to consider that a standalone for now. So I have 18 books to talk about, and I have sorted them into three categories. They are based on my interest in these series. So the first category is books that I am interested in, but I'm not like super interested in. I might be in the camp of like feeling like I won't love it as much as everyone else, or I'm interested in reading it for one reason, but I probably won't continue the series, that sort of thing. The lowest level of interest. Sorry about the bus going by. It's annoying, we just have to deal with it. The second category is for books that I'm very interested in reading, series that I'm very interested in starting. They're just not the highest priority for right now. Then we have the third category, and these are the ones that I'm just itching to get to, series that I'm desperate to start. I want to read them so badly, and that's why we're saving them for the end, because they are the most exciting to me. So we'll just talk about these books, where I got them. For most of them, it will be out of a Little Free Library, because that's where I take most of my books in from, but some of them I got elsewhere. And just my thoughts on them. So we'll let a couple more cars go by and then get right into it. So first up in my lowest priority, lowest level of interest category is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I did in fact get this out of a Little Free Library, which it's in like perfect condition, like it doesn't even look like it's been read, but I am interested in this because I know it's a very popular series. I know a few of my friends have really enjoyed this book, and I love a good mystery. I just don't read a ton of YA anymore, with the exception of horror. YA horror is one of my favorite genres. I don't know why everyone's going by at this point. There was like no one driving by my street when I was doing stuff before filming, and now that I've turned on the camera, they all want to drive by. That's so rude of them. Um, but yeah, YA horror, absolutely adore. Other types of YA books, not generally my favorite anymore. I'm reading a lot more adult than YA these days, but I'm still interested in this and I want to give it a shot even if I don't end up absolutely loving it. Next up is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. Also got this out of a Little Free Library. And I do read more middle grade than I do YA, I think. But this is a series that I heard so much hype about when it first came out, and this first book I've heard is absolutely amazing. But with each subsequent release, I think people have gotten less and less excited about it and have enjoyed it less and less, so I'm a little bit hesitant in that regard. If I read the first book and love it, I want to love all of the other books in the series, but it doesn't seem like that is the case for the general population of readers for this series, so I am a little bit hesitant on that. Next up is A Psalm for the Wild-Built by Becky Chambers. I am hesitant to read this because I've tried Becky Chambers before, and I didn't have an issue with her book specifically. It was more the way I was reading it. I started, what is it called? Her Wayfarer's book, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. That's what it is. And I was listening to it as an audiobook, and it just was not clicking for me. And obviously, this one I would be reading physically, so completely different. Physically is my preferred format for reading books. But because I've had like minor issues with Becky Chambers before, it makes me kind of resistant to starting this one. But it is very short. I love a novella, and I am intrigued by it. So I do want to give it a shot. I just don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. Then we have Priest by Sierra Simone, which I got out of a Little Free Library. I don't know if I mentioned A Psalm for the Wild-Built. I don't remember if I got that out of a Little Free Library. I might have thrifted it. I don't know. But this one I did get out of a Little Free Library, mostly just because I thought it was funny. I'd been seeing this going around a lot on the internet, and I am not like against reading smutty books. Like I love Ice Planet Barbarians. I've read other smutty books. Like that's fine. But something about this one I'm like resistant towards. I don't know. So I would like to give this one a shot, but if it's not for me and I don't want to continue the series, that is totally fine. I will not be mad about it. And the last book in this first category is Ledges and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Once again, I got this out of a little free library, and I just don't know if this would work for me. I love fantasy, I love D&D, I like cozy things, but cozy fantasy specifically, I've just had an okay track record with. I haven't absolutely loved any of the cozy fantasies that I've read. So while I think I might like this, I really don't think I'm gonna love it. So I just haven't picked it up yet. But I do want to. It's just not the highest priority out of all the books on my TBR. Moving into the second category, again, these are books that I'm very interested in reading. They're just not the highest priority right now. The first one on the list is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. This is a book that I got out of a little free library, and not only that, it was the entire trilogy in these matching covers, which are really cool. I like how simple they are, and I want to do a binge reading vlog of the three books, but they are quite large. How many pages is this? It is 512. It looks a lot thicker than that. I guess they're like thick pages? I don't know. But, ooh, I just saw things. I don't want to spoil myself. I would love to do a binge reading vlog because I have not done one of those in a while. And I think this would be a fun series to binge. They're just very long, and I don't have the time for that right now. But again, I have friends who have absolutely loved this series, and I trust their reading taste, so I think I'm really going to enjoy it. Similarly, we have The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I thrifted all three books in this series, and I know there's like a fourth book, but it's kind of like a spin-off, if I am correct. But I would love to do a series binge vlog for this series. This one doesn't match the other two books. The other two are like a slightly like nicer edition, and this I think is just the standard paperback edition. So I would like, if I enjoy this book series, to get this one in the same edition as the other two. But that's a problem for way later on after I've read these. But again, I just don't have the time to binge a series right now. Maybe later on in 2026, but definitely not within the next few months, I think. Then we have The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nhi Vo. I love this cover. I think it's stunning. The like artwork with the animals and like the design of them is so cool. But I got this out of a little free library, of course, and it is very short, so I could like bang this out very quickly. It's only 118 pages. I could probably read that in an hour, but I just have higher priority reads, so this one just isn't happening yet, but I am very excited to get to it. I know there are 4 or 5 books in this series right now, and I think it would be fun to have them all lined up on my shelf because they look very like small and cute together. And yeah, that's really just it. Next up is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. I got this out of a little free library, and this book has been on my radar for years. I used to watch a creator called Holly Hearts Books. I have no idea if she even still makes content. I haven't watched her in a while, probably like before the pandemic is when I watched her content. She used to host this readathon called Medievalathon that I really enjoyed, but when she stopped doing that, I kind of fell out of it with her content. But I first heard of this book from her. When did this actually come out? This is copyright 2017. So yeah, pre-pandemic, because I'm pretty sure it was a recent release when I heard her talk about it. But this is a high fantasy book about retired adventurers going on one last adventure, one last quest to save the kidnapped daughter of one of the members of their party. And that sounds like a lot of fun to me. It sounds very D&D-esque, and so I'm very excited to read this, but it's very thick. Also, I should mention, I am trying in 2026 to limit the number of series I'm starting because I'm just in the middle of way too many, so I want to continue and complete series I've already started. So none of these books are on my immediate radar for the most part, but some of them are just more interesting to me than others, and this is one that I would like to get to, but it's like very middling in the priority list. Next up is Shady Hollow by Juno Black. Another one with a very stunning cover. I love the colors on this. It's so fun. This is a mystery series. It says a murder mystery up top with anthropomorphic animals, which I think is so cool. I got this out of a little free library. I should mention, I said I was going to tell you that about all these books, and then I just haven't been doing that. But yeah, this is described. Where did it go? Oh, on the front. Watership Down meets Mickey Spillane. I thought Watership Down was fine. I have no idea what Mickey Spillane, yeah. I don't have no idea what that is. I'm assuming some sort of detective story. But I've also heard this compared to Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, very excited to get to this one. I just am unable to prioritize it the way that I want to. Next, we have Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk, who, if you didn't know, is one of my favorite authors from childhood. You can see all of her books right here. I have The Thief Lord, the Mirror World series, and the Inkheart series. Absolutely phenomenal. I reread those books all the time. She's just a very special author to me and has a very important place in my heart. So, yeah, I've never read this one. I think it would be fun to try and read Cornelia Funk's backlist and get to all of the ones that I haven't read before, and this is one of them. I picked this up at a thrift store only a few months ago, actually. It hasn't been on the TBR for long, but it's an author that I know I love. It's got dragons in it. What's not to be excited about? Then we have a book that I did not know was a series when I first picked it up, but apparently the sequel is coming out, I think, later this year. I don't think it's out yet, but that is Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. I, like I said, thought this was a standalone when I picked it up out of a little free library, and then I was talking to some friends about having recently acquired it, and one of them was like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited for the sequel to release," and I was like, "Great, so it is part of a series." Um, but I am very excited to get into this because I love the queer rep. I love stories with ghosts involved. It just sounds like a really fun time. Maybe in October I will try and prioritize this because it does feel like it'd be perfect for spooky season. So stay tuned and we'll see if I make that happen. And now we move on to the final category, which is all of the books that I am absolutely itching to get to. I cannot wait to read them. And the first book in this category is The Will of the Many by James Islington, which I got out of a little free library, which is kind of an insane find. I feel like this is such a popular book. I haven't really heard anything bad about it. Everyone that I've heard read it has had nothing but amazing things to say about it, and also its sequel that came out at the end of last year people have been obsessed with. But I am mostly super excited to read this because Jacob from the channels Drawfee and Secret Sleepover Society really liked this book. He was talking about it in a video probably months ago at this point, about how this is one of his favorite books in recent times, and I trust this man and his reading taste. So, yeah, I really want to get to this. It is very large, and I know the sequel is also very large, and there's at least one more book coming out in the series, potentially more, I don't know. So I am scared, but I really, really, really want to read this. Then we have Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, and I really want to read this because I have just been on such a historical fantasy kick these past couple of years. It really has been my favorite subgenre of fantasy. I've also been reading a little bit of just straight up historical books, which was not something I thought I enjoyed until recently. But historical fantasy is really where it has been at for me lately, and this is historical fantasy. This is a Regency era book, and oh, I got this out of a little free library, as I did 90% of these books. Um, When I saw it, I was so excited because it's one that's been on my radar for a couple of years. I know there are a couple more books in the series, and one of them is queer, which we love. I'm excited to get to that one. But yeah, I really want to read this. It's not too long, so I should be able to fit it in quite easily when I just have more time. You should know that when I say that, I mostly mean when Herkiet is over, because my brain is just in full Herkiet mode. I know I don't have to get a blackout bingo for Herkiet, but I really want to, so I'm just focusing on that for now, and then we can figure out my reading priorities after the fact, and hopefully this is one that I can get to sooner rather than later. Up next is a book that I actually got at a yard sale, and that is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I love this cover. I really like how it's printed on the hardcover instead of being a dust jacket. I feel like you don't see that very often, and it's really fun. Also, it's a nice, simple yet intricate cover, and I think is really pretty. But I just really want to read this. I recently reread the synopsis for one reason or another. I don't remember why, but it got me like super interested in it again. Sorry about another bus going by. But this is a fantasy novel. It's also like a mystery, and I've already said I love a good mystery. So yeah, I just really want to read this. It's another one where I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I want to pick it up. I just noticed the people in the corners. I didn't notice that the first time around. I thought these were just like shapes, but they're actually silhouettes of people. That's really fun. Anyway, yeah, definitely one of the highest priority ones on this whole list. Up next is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, another little free library find that I am so amazed that I actually found because it means I didn't have to pay for it. I got a really hyped book. This is one that I know is a favorite of my friend Violet, and I trust Violet's reading taste very much. And also, I just feel like it's got a lot of elements that I really enjoy. It's got necromancy, it's got queer characters. I'm not so sure how I feel about it, like being a space book. I do really love sci fi, but I've been learning about myself in the past few years that I enjoy sci fi movies and shows more than I enjoy sci fi books, which is really interesting. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's just kind of how my tastes have been lately. But I'm very, very excited to give this one a shot, and I can't wait to pick it up. The last two books we're actually going to talk about together because they are by the same author. So, first up, we have Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have it in a box set with its sequel, Vengeful. I got this as a Christmas gift this past year. Am I a little bit upset that it is a box set of just these two and it says Villains Duology on it when I know that there's a third book coming out at the end of this year, so it's not really a duology and this isn't a complete series. Yeah, but also it's not really a big deal. I am very excited about this because I have been told by numerous people that I am going to absolutely adore it. And so this is probably the one out of all of the books I've talked about today that I am most excited to be getting to, but the one that I'm probably going to get to next is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I picked this up at a thrift store and I'm excited to read it. This one deals with like not parallel universes, but like kind of almost. It's got different versions of London with differing levels of magic, and that sounds like a lot of fun. And this is actually a book club pick for a book club that I'm in, the Nostalgia Train book club, I think in June. So I will be getting to this one very, very soon. Actually, though, I've never read any V.E. Schwab before, so I can do an author taste test vlog and read both of these in close proximity to each other. That sounds like a plan, I think. So these are the ones that I'm going to get to the soonest, I guess. Um, yeah, very, very excited. I don't know how I've made it this long. This is like annoying to hold all of these at once, but I don't know how I've made it this long without reading any V.E. Schwab because I know she's going to be an author that I absolutely adore just based on how much she's written and all of the vibes, and like friends I know who love her work have very similar reading tastes to me. So I think it really is just time that I get going on reading these. So those are all of the first books in series on my physical TBR. It is a little bit overwhelming to have them all laid out in front of me like this, especially knowing that I have like 50 more books that aren't part of series on my physical TBR. That's really something I would like to tackle in the second half of this year, because the next couple of months I'll be focusing on Herkyed, and then after that I will still be focusing on continuing and completing series, but if I do enough of that, I will feel okay starting some of these series, but also I want to read other things from my physical TBR aside from the books that we talked about in this video. Anyways, I am rambling. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.